Haldo, welcome back everybody! I'm not doing an intro this week because I'm just super excited about reviewing this game, and I don't think it even needs an introduction. So, with that said, this is my review of Super Mario Galaxy 2. Oh, that music still gives me chills down my spine. When I heard that there was actually going to be a sequel to Super Mario Galaxy back in 2009, I was ecstatic. When I was 11 years old, the one thing I did constantly aside from doing homework and sleeping was playing Super Mario Galaxy. One time I even played the game for 24 hours straight, and that was just getting all the power stars as Luigi. I was a very hyperactive little freak of nature, to say the least. Little did I know that Nintendo had so many other ideas for the game, but they couldn't include them all because there were just too many. So they decided to take all these scrapped ideas and make a whole new game out of them. The result was Super Mario Galaxy 2, which was released for the Wii on May 23rd, 2010. This marked the first time where two 3D Mario games appeared on a single Nintendo console. That's pretty cool. But everyone shared the same concern. The first Super Mario Galaxy was so phenomenal in its own right that making a sequel to it and having it be just as good, if not better, seemed impossible. So did it live up to the expectations it set? Well, I can answer that with 4 simple words. I love this game. I love this game. For real, this is right up there with Super Mario World for me. But I'm gonna try my darndest to save the gushing for later, so let's start at the beginning. Right off the bat, you'll notice that Galaxy 2's story is basically a simplified retelling of Galaxy 1's story. The Star Festival's going on, Bowser crashes the party, captures Princess Peach, goes into space, Mario comes after. This time, the baby Luma apparently speaks in PlayStation button symbols, and Bowser is huge! Along the way, Mario receives help from a moderately obese Luma named Lubba, who makes him captain of this ship that looks like Mario's face, which might just be the coolest spaceship I've ever seen aside from the TARDIS, and helps him on his quest to retrieve the stolen Power Stars and once again, save the universe. Now, some of you might be disappointed by this, considering how grand and epic Galaxy 1's story was told, but seeing as how the rest of the game is much more streamlined than Galaxy 1, I don't see this as an issue. So, let's get into the game. The first thing I noticed when booting up the game again was how similar it looked to Galaxy 1 in terms of graphics. But after playing it and observing every single nook and cranny possible, I find that Galaxy 2 is the better looking between the two. Galaxy 1 definitely looked more like it was set in outer space, but Galaxy 2 has a much more vibrant choice of colors. It really makes the game as a whole look stunning. Anyway, in terms of progression, while Galaxy 1 used a more traditional hub world akin to Super Mario 64, Galaxy 2's progression is a bit more linear. You still have a hub world, sort of, in the form of Starship Mario, but when going from stage to stage, it's very much like how Mario would do so in the 2D games, with world maps and alternate paths and all that. While you could argue that it's not quite as free and open-ended as Mario 64 and even Mario Sunshine, I actually like this setup. I do enjoy hub worlds a little bit more, but this is definitely more accessible and even kind of exciting. With how different the galaxies are from the worlds they inhabit, you never know what's coming next. That's not to say the Starship Mario doesn't give you anything to do in the downtime. You're still given a lot of space to run around and cut loose and mingle with the folks you bring aboard, or hold hostage, depending on how you look at it. And there's even a bonus room where you can spin these new chance cubes and whatever item they land on is yours. It could be anything from coins to one-up mushrooms to Goombas. So that's how Goombas are born. And after you beat the game the first time, going through this door over here can have Mario switch out with Luigi. Yes, Luigi is back! And he means business this time. After you get far enough into World 3 with over 20 Power Stars, you'll sometimes come across Luigi at the beginning of certain galaxies. It's here where you're given the option to play as him for the rest of the mission. In a way, this gives him more of a prominent role, and I very much welcome it. Sometimes playing a few specific missions with Luigi isn't always the best idea, but I'm glad that he has more to do here than just sometimes get captured and other times not get captured. Both Mario and Luigi are equipped with everything they had in Galaxy 1. The long jump, wall jump, triple jump, backward somersault, and spin attack are all present once more. The controls are just as good as they were in Galaxy 1, so there's nothing much else to talk about there. And every single power-up that was present in Galaxy 1 is here and accounted for as well, with the only exceptions being the Ice Flower and the Red Star. The Ice Flower I don't mind, but the Red Star? Seriously? Come on, you get rid of the Red Star, but you keep the Spring Mushroom? Anyway, the power-ups once again serve as a means of completing certain missions and nothing else, which I still have no real issue with, so yeah. But I wouldn't dare go without mentioning the new power-ups. Super Mario Galaxy 2 first gives us the spin drill. This lets you drill through certain parts of the level and pop out on the underside depending on what galaxy you're in. Out of all the new power-ups, the spin drill is probably my least favorite. I do enjoy using it, but I can't long jump while using it, and for certain missions, that's really annoying. Next up is the rock mushroom. This lets Mario roll up into a ball and destroy anything in his path, from rocks to enemies to snow sculptures. It's like a bigger, more powerful version of the spin dash from Sonic the Hedgehog, and the missions dedicated to it are pretty cool. Except for this one in Melty Monster Galaxy, it can get a little frustrating. The last new power-up I have to talk about is the Cloud Flower, which might just be the best of the bunch. By shaking the Wii Remote, the Cloud Flower lets you create a cloud platform beneath your feet. The most you can make is 3, but if you run out, you can just grab another flower. This will let you make even more cloud platforms until you need to grab another flower, and the cycle goes on. Combining this with the long jump, you can easily skip over certain obstacles, and if you time your jumps just right, you can complete missions a lot faster. This is one power-up I would absolutely love to see come back, whether in a 2D or 3D game. Speaking of things coming back, Yoshi's here too! You can ride on him as you'd expect, and the blue star cursor on the screen turns into a red dot. Highlighting it over enemies and other random objects and pressing the B button can have Yoshi eat them faster than you can say first-person rail shooter starring Yoshi. Yes, this actually exists. He can also use his tongue to swing on these flower things and solve other various puzzles that the game might throw at you. Also, the vomiting from Super Mario Sunshine is a thing of the past, which I'm now going to assume was just a weird experimental phase. Yoshi even has power-ups of his own. There's the Dash Pepper that lets you run at super fast speeds, the Float Berry that inflates Yoshi like a balloon and might result in some very strange DeviantArt search results, and the Bulb Berry that lights up hidden paths for you and Yoshi to take. Yoshi's incredibly versatile in this game, almost as much as he was in Super Mario World. But I'm worried that he might still be a bit hydrophobic, so I'm gonna try my best to keep him away from— Hey, look at that, he can actually swim now! Man, if he could do that in Super Mario Sunshine, I'm sure a majority of that game would have been a lot less headache-inducing. Alright, let's talk about the missions. They're structured in a way that's similar to missions from Galaxy 1, go from planet to planet using launch stars, defeat the occasional boss, and grab a power star or a grand star at the very end. This time around, Galaxy 2 incorporates a lot more interesting level gimmicks. In the Flip Swap Galaxy, for example, using the spin attack causes red and blue platforms to flip up and down, but never at the same time. So you have to find the right time to make the platforms flip up when jumping from red to blue, as well as jumping from blue to red. It's a really unique and creative way to incorporate the motion controls into the game and still give us strong and cohesive level design without the player worrying about the gimmick growing stale. Galaxy 2 also gives us a more competent version of Il Piantissimo from Sunshine in the form of a chimp called, well, the chimp. Sometimes he'll have you complete certain challenges where your goal is to simply beat his high score. These challenges range from stomping enough enemies to bumping into enough gummits to even bowling. And these bowling pin looking enemies are actually called, and I'm not even kidding, pinheads.
Who you calling pinheads?
Sorry, I just had to do that. All in all, the chimp's challenges are definitely more tolerable than anything involving Il Piantissimo, and it's not like I'll have to blow up garbage for Gearmo again. Are you kidding me right now? Lastly, Galaxy 2 brings us Comet Medals. They're like the star coins in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, but there's only one Comet Medal per galaxy, and they actually serve a real purpose. Remember the prankster comets from Galaxy 1? Well, they're back, but this time they can only appear in certain galaxies either by collecting the Comet Medal in that galaxy, or just having enough Comet Medals in general. I don't really mind the inclusion of Comet Medals at all. What I do mind, however, is how often the prankster comets appear. In all fairness, it could just be me going out of my way to get the Comet Medals in every galaxy, but sometimes I feel like a new one is going to appear after every single mission I complete. As for the actual prankster comet missions themselves, I find myself disliking more of them than in Galaxy 1. A lot of them are certainly very enjoyable, but there are a few that I don't particularly like that much. The purple coin missions in Flip Swap and Tall Trunk are good examples. Purple coins in the Flip Swap Galaxy don't work very well together, but give it credit, you're not sliding down a slide the entire time. You know I'm looking at you, Tall Trunk. Still, I think the purple coin mission in Clockwork Ruins tops them both in terms of irritation, at least when it comes to collecting the purple coins. I really can't stand the Boss Blitz Galaxy speedrun either. You have to face off against 5 different bosses from Galaxy 1 in under 5 minutes. The first 3 I can get through no problem, but Bouldergeist? No way. By the time I beat him, I only had 10 seconds left until time ran out. I don't have footage of it because I just didn't want to play through it again. By the way, does Bouldergeist remind anyone else of Schnitzel from Chowder? Sometimes it can get worse when they combine different styles together in a single mission. The Prankster Comet mission in Flipsville Galaxy combines purple coins and speed running, which is not a good combination. Mario Squared Galaxy has you collect purple coins in under 2 minutes while being chased by cosmic clones of yourself, which puts me under a lot of stress. I just noticed the purple coin missions in Galaxy 1 weren't all that bad except for maybe 1 or 2, but I find myself disliking more purple coin missions here. But you know what the strangest part of it all is? Well, aside from that, excuse me, what are those things? No, the real strangest part of it all is I actually really like how hard these missions are. Call me crazy, but one thing I didn't realize about Galaxy 1 was that it didn't have that many real challenging missions. Galaxy 2 brings them out full force. Not every single mission is hard, but the tough ones are much more prominent here than they were in Galaxy 1, and I see this as kind of amazing. I might not enjoy a lot of hard missions, but just the variety of missions, whether it be in terms of difficulty or design, makes the game feel like it was made for dedicated platforming enthusiasts. There's something here for everybody, whether casual or hardcore. Another great thing about this is the fact that even though the game is separated into worlds like the 2D games, the galaxies don't match up with any major theme the worlds might convey. Like if one world is beach themed, not every galaxy in that world is going to be beach themed. You really never know what kind of galaxies are going to lie ahead as you continue on your journey, and it kind of gives you a sense of adventure. It gives you something to look forward to when you get to the next world. You want to know which galaxy I always look forward to the most when I start up a new file? The Throwback Galaxy. Looks familiar, huh? Well, that's because this level is a straight-up remake of Whomp's Fortress from Super Mario 64. And while it might scream laziness or unoriginality to some people, it doesn't make it any less awesome. I don't even mind the inclusion of an obstacle course from Super Mario Sunshine, because at least they're borrowing something good from that game. In fact, a lot of levels in this game are awesome. Sky Station is awesome, Hightail Falls is awesome, Puzzle Plank is awesome, Supermassive Galaxy is awesome, and as I said in my top 10 beach levels in video games, Starshine Beach Galaxy is the best beach level in any video game ever! Even the levels where you're forced to deal with awkward motion controls have some charm to them. Despite how much I really didn't want to see the rolling ball levels come back and just how abysmal the Fluzzard sections are. Before I go, I should briefly discuss the multiplayer. Galaxy 1 had this too, but it's emphasized a lot here. A second player can act as a co-star Luma, who can freeze enemies in their tracks and pick up extra items for you. And while it can be a little useful in the Rolling Coaster Galaxy's Purple Coin mission, the multiplayer just comes off as arbitrary. It's not awful, I just feel like 3D Mario games don't really need multiplayer. If anything, they're much stronger as single-player adventures. Not to mention, when my brother's controlling the co-star Luma, he'll always loom over me with this one coin taunting me because I can't take it from him unless he gives it to me. Come on, Mike, give me the coin. Give me the coin. Come on, give me the coin, Mike. Come on, give me the coin! Lastly, I was surprised how much I've neglected to talk about the green stars. After you collect all 120 power stars, green prankster comets appear over each galaxy. It's here where you have to collect 120 green stars, 2 or 3 in each galaxy. I don't have too much footage to show you because A, I've already collected a good amount of green stars on this save file, and B, the ones I haven't collected yet are too hard and I really just don't care. As for everything else, I just can't get enough of it. You know what else I can't get enough of? That soundtrack. Galaxy 1 already had a wonderful score ranging from orchestral to rearrangements of classic themes, and even though Galaxy 2 is guilty of using more pre-existing Mario themes than Galaxy 1, first off, they're mostly from Super Mario World, which is always a plus, and second, Galaxy 2's soundtrack as a whole is just so much better. The music is much grander, more upbeat. It's got swing, reggae, some great atmospheric pieces, and of course, that orchestral sound still gives me goosebumps with how big and glorious it is. For real, I need to get my hands on these soundtracks. Okay, never mind. Hey, look at that! Mario finally got his cake! What was it like, I don't know, 14 years since he was promised this? And we never saw him get a slice of it? Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't script this part. I kind of put this in last minute, so, but okay! So, overall, what's my verdict on Super Mario Galaxy 2? Well, Looking back at my history with this game, and after playing Galaxy 1, I can now proudly say that Super Mario Galaxy 2 is my favorite 3D Mario game. With the rip-roaring success of the original Super Mario Galaxy, I'd never imagined how Shigeru Miyamoto and his team could even top something like that. Thankfully, Galaxy 2 takes that problem and throws it right out the window. Everything about Super Mario Galaxy 2 is indescribable. It's challenging, engaging, fast, frantic, full of energy, and most importantly, it's so much fun to play. I'll admit, I have a very personal history with this game. I was diagnosed with depression back when it first came out, and I'll always remember the day my dad decided to cheer me up by getting it for me. Playing it was like a true mental escape. All I had to do to achieve, in the words of Jon Stewart, a moment of zen, was play Super Mario Galaxy 2. Nothing else mattered. And for the last 5 years, it continues to give me a great time and bring me back to that special place. Often I hear people talk about how we need a Super Mario Galaxy 3, and even though I would totally buy that in a heartbeat, looking back, we might not really need one. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was just so perfectly executed that I'm not sure how a third one could even try to be better. I'm still waiting for it to happen, but if Galaxy 2 is the last of the Galaxy games, then I would be completely satisfied. In the end, Super Mario Galaxy 2 isn't just my favorite 3D Mario game, but from personal experience, it might just be the best 3D platforming game I've ever played. Galaxy 1 was certainly incredible, but compared to Galaxy 2, it just comes off as practice. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is really where it's at. This is the keen essential 3D Mario game to play, and while Super Mario World is still my absolute favorite, Galaxy 2 is certainly its 3D equivalent. I rambled on long enough, so if you haven't played the game yet, do it. You won't regret any second of it. And Nintendo, please give us an HD remastered bundle of Galaxy 1 and 2. I will give you all of my money! With the Super Mario Galaxy games finally under my belt, where do we go from here? Well, we're jumping to the handhelds once more, as for the penultimate video, we'll be covering the first 3D Mario platformer made from the ground up for a portable system. Will we get another masterpiece like the Galaxy games, or will it turn out to be just another average modern Mario title? Find out next time with my review of Super Mario 3D Land. Until then, this is Mark, aka Super Smash 3DS, bidding you all a smashing farewell.